Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 1 of my brand new series on FortressCraft Evolved. In case you guys missed it, I did a spotlight on this game a couple days ago and posted a poll, and I think like 93 or 94% of people responded that they'd like to see a Let's Play on the game. So as I was kind of getting towards the end of my Space Engineers series, I decided, alright, let's switch gears into a different kind of game. So we're going to check out FortressCraft Evolved. Now, if you guys didn't check out the Spotlight, I highly recommend you do, because it'll give you a good overview about what this game's about. Now, with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and start a new world here, and we'll be playing through in our standard Let's Play format. Much of this game is built around automation and survival, so I'm kind of looking forward to checking it out with you guys. And I've played a good bit in my standard world that I've played through once, but that was mostly me not knowing what I was doing and trying to figure stuff out a lot. Now I've got a better idea of how things work, so I should be a little bit more knowledgeable, but I'm sure I'll have some derps along the way. Let's create a world here. One more thing to note, by the way, is in Steam, Dire Let's Play is what we'll call it. You can choose in Steam which version of a game to have, so if you have access to betas of some games or something, you can use those. You just go into the properties of the game. So if you guys wanted to play along with me, I wanted you to know I'm running on the Bleeding Edge version of the game. So that typically has like some bug fixes sooner and some new content sooner. Talk to the developer, he said it should be pretty fine and stable. Like, it's not an unstable version, it's just, you know, the more up-to-date one. So that's the one I chose to go with, Bleeding Edge. So, you know, if you see some stuff that I'm doing that isn't in your game, just make sure you're running the Bleeding Edge version. So let's create this world, shall we? Whoops, I did the same thing I did in my Let's Play. I didn't hit enter, so let's do that. Dire Let's Play, enter. Alright, so resource level and power level, I'll keep those at plentiful. Conveyor speed, I'll keep it fast. Day-night cycle will be normal mob difficulty. Rush mode, I don't even know what that is. And death mode, this is one that we're going to talk about. So in easy death mode, there's no penalty for death. So basically, yeah, that's it. There's no penalty for death. Like, should you die, it's okay. In clumsy mode, that's a reasonable challenge because it encourages you not to die. You'll drop the contents of your inventory on death. Other options are Iron Man. You permanently lose your entire inventory on death, so that's no fun. Like, your stuff's just gone forever. You die, you stay dead, so that's like a hardcore mode. And then the really hardcore mode is if you or your CPH dies, it's permanent game over. So yeah, I'm not doing either of those. I'm probably gonna go with clumsy. Because like the no death penalty is a little bit too easy in my opinion. I mean, definitely recommend the no death penalty for people who haven't played the game before, because dying is not that hard. But I definitely want to go with clumsy this time to give myself a little bit of a challenge. And I'll stick with the resource and power levels and the conveyor speeds, because I think that'll make for some more entertaining gameplay. But if you really want to challenge yourselves, definitely go for lower values there. But again, if it's your first time playing through, this is probably a good setup. Maybe no death penalty your first time through. So let's create the world and get this game a-going. So what we're going to start off with here, clearly, is just like we did in our spotlight of the game. The basic story of this game is that you're out in space and you're approaching a space station, and all of a sudden there's a meteor shower. The meteor comes, it hits the space station, and we're going to crash land on a planet. That is no good. So emergency landing required because the space station's gone, your ship's like spinning out of control here, and we're gonna basically land on this planet. And we'll go through the tutorial again pretty quickly, and I'm gonna be giving you guys some information about how the game works, and we'll do like the standard Let's Play format. So if you've never played FortressCraft Evolved, this might not be a bad way for you guys to kind of get the hang of how the game works. So we start off, we've got our CPH here in the center. This is our central processing hub. We'll be talking about that. And when you first start, there's like a big force field around you so that you really can't leave or wander too far. This is kind of the tutorial stage of the game. So it tells us right here at the top, look at the CPH and press E. And you can even see that there, press E and then add resources to the CPH to make power. Cool. So in our inventory, we've got some coal. We'll be taking a look at that in a minute, but I'm just going to hit add resources here. Coal will come out of my inventory, land in the central power hub, and it will start producing power. Cool. Let's just continue through the tutorial, and then we'll go through and do some other stuff. So So hold Q to fill your suit power. So as mentioned, in the top left, we've got our suit power level. There's a couple other things there like jetpack, and we don't have access to a jetpack yet, but we will later. And then your flashlight. So I'm just going to hold Q here. Cool. And that filled up my power. So this is a power storage unit. Next up on our task is to power up this extractor. So this ore extractor here is facing a coal block, which we'll find out pretty soon. You can see here it's facing coal ore. So if I just hit add power, it's going to start powering that thing up and let it operate so it can mine some coal. And of course, by draining my suit's power, that's not good. So I'm going to want to fill back up from this power storage unit. Cool. CPH, its power level is a little bit low, but it should be burning and generating power and storing it in the power storage among some other machines here. Looks like this research station is powering up. We'll take a look at that. So, hoppers. These are your item storage devices in FortressCraft Evolved. We'll be taking items out of there, so press Q to remove items. So there's a couple different ways to interact with devices. We'll be seeing them throughout the series here, but in general, if you want to take the items out of a device like the hopper here, you hit Q and it'll pull items out. And you'll notice on the bottom left, it's giving you an indication, and on the front, you know, what's going on. Use RMB to scan something. All right, so right mouse button. We've got our ore scanner here in our hand. We'll be seeing more of this as well once we get through the tutorial. But basically, I'm going to hold right mouse button. You'll see on the bottom left, it tells me I'm scanning this unknown block in front of me. And it's telling me in order to process the scan that I just made, I need to open the interface on this research station. And you'll notice that we're on the scans tab. There's one unknown material that so far I've scanned. I've currently got 0 research points, but by processing this, I'm going to get 1 research point. So we just discovered snow. Pretty cool. And now we need to craft a power core. There are hundreds of items to craft, it tells me. So over here is our crafting station. We'll be seeing a lot of this throughout the series. But, oh yeah, some cool stuff in here that we'll definitely be checking out. Along the top here are tabs to help you narrow down what you're looking at. So this is like the mining tab, for example, and this is the basic energy transmitter tab. This is where power stuff goes. This is item transfer. These are upgrades, and it's telling me that I need an Arthur power core is what it wants me to craft, and that is going to repair my little friendly robot named Arthur, who's probably sitting around here somewhere, but we'll find him in a moment. So Arthur power core. Oh, there he is. Speak of the devil. Need power, please craft core. Okay, no problem. So if we craft that, he's awake and he lives. Arthur's our little buddy. He's going to be helping us out through this adventure. And now that the tutorial is complete, it's showing you some details about how you can use your survival handbook here. So we'll be seeing this throughout the series as well. But first off on your screen, and you can bring this up by pressing H, your survival handbook first tab is context. It's whatever you're currently looking at. So the block we're looking at is snow. The item selected in our hotbar is this ore extractor. So you can see down there I'm changing my hotbar with the middle mouse wheel. If I were to look at a torch, for example, I'm still looking at snow, but now torch is what's selected in hotbar. And then contextually, controls is kind of always there because that's a suggested guide to figure out how to play the game. But also, you'll learn some stuff by watching this Let's Play, hopefully. There's some guides, like the starting out guide, surviving your first night, controls, and unknown materials, and then there's some reference and research stuff. Neat. So we'll be taking a look at some of that as we go through. So Arthur's cool. He's hanging out. He's going to help us out a little bit. You'll notice on the top right, it's showing me my environmental hazard level. External temperature looks like it's about negative 24.2 degrees C. The internal temperature is a nice, warm, comfortable 18 degrees C, so I'm living pretty large right now, feeling warm inside my nice suit, even though I'm in a terribly frozen terrain. But my battery use rate is about 1.1, so it's using about 1 battery use every second or so. And you can see the blue thing is blinking there. That's what's currently causing my battery use as it's cold. Now, one trick that you guys will probably want to learn pretty quickly is that torches, aside from generating light, also generate a bit of heat. So you can see as I get closer to the torch, I'm actually using less battery. So by having torches around your base, it'll kind of help out a little bit with that. But do note that if you get too close to a torch, the external temperature up there will spike too high, and all of a sudden you're going to start using power to cool yourself off. So it can actually get too hot. So just keep that in mind. This is a trick that I'll use probably throughout the series as I'm exploring, and it'll help me get back to my base as I need to, as I'm running far away. One of the things it's suggesting I do is automate this thing, coal reserves, right now. So we've got a machine here, this basic mining ore extractor, that's digging up some coal for us, and if we wanted to, we could scan this coal ore vein, which does two things. First off, it'll tell me, where the ore is, so it's kind of like a nice little visual guide of how big it is. It also shows you the volume and the total amount of ore. So there's about 10,781 coal in there, so that'll last us a while. But one thing that we should note is that the ore extractor only has a 10% efficiency, so we're only going to get about 10% of that ore. There's a way to upgrade that later, and that's involving cutter heads, but we'll deal with that. But let's place down what it recommends. So X to switch back to your build gun, and M to switch back to your scanner. So those are the two hotkeys that you need to know about right now. Luckily, in our inventory, which is I, we've been given a couple things, like some extra ore extractors, a few more torches, some coal that we just got as interacting with this thing. So if I hit Q here, it'll pick up some coal. Nice. And we've got a few conveyor belts. We've got this Arthur power core that we crafted. This needs to remain in our inventory, like all upgrades to Arthur and to your suit, and we'll see a little bit more about that later. And then a logistics hopper, which is a special type of hopper which will be responsible for storing items. So I'm going to put my logistics hopper there. If I wanted to, I can place items in. Now, the logistics hopper is a lower tier hopper. It can only store about 2 coal ore, or 2 of anything for that matter. And this storage hopper that we've got can store about 100 items. Not bad. So if we wanted to, we could manually add items here by pressing T. And you'll notice that it's now storage full of coal ore. And shortly, it should empty one of those pieces of coal into our central processing hub here. So if we keep an eye on this for a moment, the logistics hopper here, he's a little bit slow about transferring items, but he's a low tier hopper. We'll be getting better ones in a bit. Let's go ahead and run our conveyors to him as well. There we go. Nice. So this way, we've got a little bit of our first steps of automation, which is coal. We're pumping out as much coal as we can, we're storing it in the hopper next to it, and then the hopper is transferring the coal via conveyor belt into this guy, and he'll dump resources. You know what? The central power hub's probably not requesting resources because he doesn't need power at the moment. But if I were to take some power out of here and store it in my suit, we'll probably get to a point where he'll need some, and he'll start refueling himself. So I think the first thing we're going to want to do to get started, first off, it's already getting dark out, so that's fun. You can notice it's going to start dropping in temperature outside, so we're going to probably be using even more battery power to stay alive. But I think one of the first things we're going to want to do is start mining for ore. So I don't think we have the resources really to make any kind of hoppers. The basic ones just require a small amount of copper and tin. The more advanced ones require some iron. So let's first bring up an ore scanner, and I'm going to left click to ping for unknown blocks. Ta-da! So you can see there's a large amount. Oh, I just pinged air, my bad. Ping unknown. That makes more sense. So right here underneath the snow is clearly a large amount of blocks that we don't understand too well. So we're going to scan that. It's probably just basic rocks. But once we clear that out of the research, so let's process that guy. So it's dirt. Okay, not bad. I'm going to dig down a little bit further and try to keep the light up for you guys. Let me rearrange some of the stuff here. I like to have my torches on slot 3 for now. So we've got another ore or block type that I'm going to scan. Cool. Let's bring this back with us. Process that, and it's just rough rock. So now that we've analyzed those guys, let's see what's going on with our CPH. All right, we're doing okay. By the way, one of the things that Arthur does for us, aside from being a super helpful little robot, which is cool, he likes to stay out of your way, but he also stores power for you, and he will transfer it. You can see right now, he's got about 21 power available. You might have noticed my power is not really dropping much yet. That's because he had a little bit of an internal buffer. He's solar powered, so he only recharges during the day. But later on, we'll be able to build something that helps out with him. So let's see, what do we got by way of ores nearby? We've got some trees, it looks like. So I'm going to turn on my headlight a little bit, just so you guys can see a little bit better. So there's some leaves. And I'm going to right-click to remove some of the leaves here, and then also scan the wood. And of course, scanning, like most other things, does use a bit of power. Let's find something that we have a bunch of. For now, we'll go with dirt. That'll be what I use to kind of dig around with. Collecting this wood will be useful for us pretty shortly. Okay. Let's bring that home. There's another giant robot. This guy's going to help us defend our base. Not all of the robot systems are completely implemented yet. Talking with the developer, he said he's got some plans for like different types of robots that are going to be differently useful. Right now, Arthur's really the only one that follows you around or does much. Let's see if I take power out of this hub. Oh look, he automatically got a piece of coal from his hopper here. Nice. That's what I wanted to see. Okay, so definitely coaled out, definitely using some stuff. Let's do another ping for unknown ores. Looks like a nice chunk of something right here. That, I'm going to say, looks like tin to me. Let's bring that back home. Research it? Is that tin? Am I right about that? I am. Nice. So for now, we don't have a lot of options in terms of automating pretty much anything, but we will soon. But in order to get ourselves up and running, I'm going to go ahead and place down this guy and just add some power to him. Cool. So he's going to start mining tin ore, and I am going to start getting hypothermia because I used up all of my power. So remember I told you that torches will keep you warm. So if I get near this torch, it should help clear away the hypothermia. But you can see I'm definitely still a little bit cold, and not having power is just going to bring it right back as soon as you can see the top right, suit internal temperature starting to drop. This will kill me if I don't take care of that, so I need to drain some energy out of this storage device here, and that'll help keep me alive. And I have to remind myself that dying is bad because I played through last time on the easy death mode, and I've kind of gotten used to not worrying so much about death because in easy mode, you just teleport back to your base. And in the mode that I'm playing now, you're going to teleport back to your base without any items on you anymore. And it's not like I have anything that's terribly important, but in my previous playthrough, I was definitely just keeping everything on my character because I never lost it if I died. All right, so we found tin. Let's ping and hopefully find some copper. Oh my goodness, there's a very large ore vein right down here of something, and I'm hoping that that's copper. That's dirt. Let's see. If I found a nice copper vein right here, I would not complain. By the way, just right-clicking, you can't remove copper veins, so you'll notice here that, like, you know, you can't really get any copper out of that, or any ores for that matter. There is a way to clear these away, but alright, scanned, and I have no more power. So we better run back to our base. Nice. Good news is we will be able to upgrade some stuff to make it so that the cold is not such a concern going forward, but oh, I found rubble, and I found copper ore. Beautiful! I've got the first couple bits of resources that I'm going to need to survive on this crazy alien planet. So let's get a torch in here so it's nice and well lit. I think probably right here would be good, and we'll add some power to this guy. And I'll just keep a little bit on my character to survive. One of the nice things that you'll discover is you can interact with machines from almost any distance. So I can snag the tin out of this ore extractor from a really far distance away. And because they're on such a low speed right now, they don't really use all that much power to mine the ores, so we should be in good shape for a bit. So the first thing we want to do with this tin ore that we just collected is cook it up in our smelter. Now the smelter is going to take a little bit to heat up, as you can see. The temperature here rising. We've got 20 tin ore. That's going to process at a rate of 4 ore per bar, so we're only going to get 5 tin bars out of this. And on harder difficulties, that's even less. I think it's like 8 to 1 on harder difficulties or something like that. So yeah, just a thing to keep in mind about. Let's see how you're doing over here. So you're processing your tin ore. We get about 4 per operation, which is good, but it definitely takes a bit. Soon, though, we will be automating this. And unfortunately, so this is one thing that's really tough. It's going to be a while before we can afford or research the ability to make more ore smelters. So things are going to be rough for a little while, guys. I'm not going to lie. That's cool. All right, so it looks like it's reached its appropriate smelting temperature. So this guy's going to smelt, and it'll turn some of this tin into tin bars, and that'll be nice. Beautiful. Cool. So we got our first set of tin. All right, now let's take a look at possibly doing some research. So one of the recipes we can research, we've got 30 research points from all the blocks we've been scanning. For one research point, we can research storage crates. So let's take a look at that. Pressing C, I should be able to see all the stuff that I can craft in my player inventory, and one of them will be wooden planks. So 5 per tree trunk. I don't know that there's any reason to hang on to tree trunks, so I just convert them all to wooden planks. And then we want, so there's a bunch of other items here we'll be able to craft eventually. I might need to do it here. This would be in this slot, I think. There we go, storage crates. I'll just get a bunch of them for now. And we'll put them down here. Let's see, what do I have a bunch of still? Rough-hewn rock. So storage crates are cool. They're basically multi-block chests. Each crate can store 2 items. 2 item types, I should say. And by placing, them in any kind of multi-block format, they'll be able to store more and more items. Nice, right? So we'll be able to expand this guy a little bit and store a whole bunch of stuff. So for now, I don't think I've ever seen a use for leaves. You are low on power, so let's add some. We're going to want lots of coal, obviously, because that's our main power income for now. This thing is cooling down, so let's get some more tin in there, and that'll heat it back up. Pretty soon we'll be able to speed up this process as well. Let me smelt my ores, and we'll come back in just a minute. Alright guys, we are back here, and I don't think I need to scan the storage crate, because we already know what that's all about. Yeah, we know that guy. Sweet. So maybe just a little light in this general vicinity. Wouldn't hurt anybody. Cool. Definitely looks like that's the remains of my crashed ship over here, so that's neat. I don't think I can scan those guys either, really. Nah, just some rocks and stuff. Let's see what's next for the research, because research is going to be one of the things you're definitely going to want to do. Mostly because it unlocks a whole bunch of cool stuff. So there's things like local life forms and suit upgrading. We're definitely going to upgrade our suit. Basic mining upgrades that improve our mining operations. Power grid, that's going to be definitely useful. So let's go with basic mining upgrades first. If we research that project, first off, it's going to unlock other projects for us to research, and secondly, it's going to unlock some recipes. So we can get a basic drill motor, which increases both the speed and the energy use of our drills. We can also get access to a couple other basic components that we'll need for later on. So speaking of our drills, this guy has processed his copper. Let's throw some tin in there, get that going. I've been kind of just keeping an eye on my drills. They do have a limit to how much inventory they can have, by the way, so they won't store their mined out ores forever, but that's just another thing we're going to automate eventually. So let's get out of here. Dun, 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 dun. Drain this guy of power, and make sure this thing is smelting some tin. Nice. All right. Basic drill motor. Let's research that guy. And I might as well just research all these because I know eventually I'm going to need them. Cool. What other projects might I want to work on? So that unlocked basic miner upgrades too, but that requires a laboratory, which we're definitely going to want to get to soon. But let's look at suit upgrading, because being able to explore this planet is going to be huge, and suit upgrades are definitely going to be helpful with that. You'll notice that also it's using a little bit of power every time I do some of these projects. So there's a few other things in here. Advanced research. That's going to get us the laboratory that it talked about in our basic miner upgrades. Base building automation. Yeah, definitely. Power grid. Let's see what recipes we unlocked here. Solar cell, suit power pack, and suit headlight. Nice. So a couple things we're going to want. The solar cell basically lets us recharge our energy during the day, which is definitely nice. Suit power pack doubles your suit power capacity. All right, I definitely want these guys. And the suit headlight probably wouldn't be bad either. It reduces the power drain of your suit's headlamp. So all of these will definitely be useful for me. They're going to be found under this tab. Suit power pack is the first thing I'm going to want to go for. Oh wow, we need lithium and iron. That's not going to happen anytime soon. The solar cell, possibly a little bit sooner. How about the headlamp? Oh, headlamp takes a long time. Those are some really complex ores that I won't be seeing for a while. So yeah, those upgrades will be a while. Let's go check out what's going on over here. Add some more power to him. Definitely one of the benefits of this build gun that I'm carrying around is the ability to interact with machines from a really great distance. Probably don't need this hole here anymore. Alright, throw this tin in here. Keeping your smelter going is definitely going to be first priority for you, because the more tin and copper that you can get going early game, definitely the better. So now that we checked out those projects, I mean, the solar cell will be nice, I guess, but that really only benefits you during the day. Let's take a look at what else I might want to do. Black box data. That might unlock some help here, but I'm not entirely sure. By the way, if you're not sure what this thing does, using the local materials, it should be possible to create single-use items. Oh, right, I know what that's all about. We'll take a look at the improved ore scanning in a bit. You should be able to hit the H key and figure out, you know, some more details about some of the research options we have ahead of us, right? So this will give us details about what these are all about. I don't think I need any base building automation yet. That requires a laboratory as well. Aesthetics doesn't sound like the research for me. Oh, by the way, we only have 2 research points, so we're going to want to go find some more stuff, I think. Let's add power here. Clearly, I haven't, like, totally memorized what all these research paths have given us, because I've only done it a few times, to be totally honest. So, I think once for most of them, so... yeah... I probably could have been more efficient about my research points, but I'll be honest with you, you're going to have a large amount of research points, so they're not going to be a problem for too long. You can also scan these plants, by the way. And they should give you some research points. Cool. Oh, there's another one. So if we go to our scans here, we'll see everything and what they give us. Nice. Some more research points. We're probably going to want to go digging down underground soon. We haven't gone too far from our base. Are you done with all that tin? Yeah, let's throw our copper in there. I already missed the ability to automate. But don't worry, we'll get there soon. Looks like there's a little dude here hanging out. We can attack him with our weapon, which the hotkey is V for. This will drain energy. Left click to fire some short bursts, which in my opinion is usually your best bet. He'll drop some ore, usually tin, so not a terrible thing to get your hands on. Cool. I'll add this copper ore here. Let's come back in a minute. I'm gonna just take a look around my surroundings here, see if there's anything really cool to check out, and then we'll be back. Oh boy. Alright, we're back. I would like to come down here and scan for unknown ores briefly. See if we can't find any unknown blocks in our immediate vicinity. Ooh, directly below us, there's definitely something. Now there's 2 ways to travel up and down here. You could build a staircase-like structure, or you could look around for some kind of, you know, existing path down. But another option is to kind of dig straight down, which I think in other games like Minecraft, that's typically not a good idea, but it's not the end of the world here. So it looks like there's definitely a large mass of something. I'm I'm gonna dig straight down for now. I don't know how deep that stuff was, but let's scan again. Oh, hello. I'm like right on it, aren't I? Unknown block detected, alright. Gotten it. So hitting F gives you a very handy and nice to use grappling hook, and it's a great way to get out of a deep hole like that. Definitely something you're going to want to get the hang of using. So that is probably like bedrock or something like that. Rock, all right. So that's just a deeper form of rock, obviously. But now that I've gotten that out of the way, looks like I took a little damage. Don't worry, you will heal automatically. Another tip for you, using the grappling hook in a hopefully relatively smart way, you should find yourself able to stop as you fall. So you can see here, we can grapple up, and if you just kind of aim a little bit downwards, it'll kind of stop you as you fall. Do be careful though, because if you die, you know, you drop your stuff, but let's just clear out a little area underground here. That doesn't look terrible. And let's do another scan for unknown. Oh, hello. There's a large resource of something right here. I'm gonna hold control and right click, and this will help me dig a little bit faster. It of course uses more energy, so keep that in mind. Let's turn on our headlamp so you guys can see what's up. Is this like unknown ores here or what? Like what's unknown about this stuff? Oh, I didn't research it at the research station yet. Dire derp. Or maybe, no, I did research the one I scanned. Maybe that's another block type that's already new. We'll find out. Unknown material, okay. Bedrock, okay. Yep. So unlike in Minecraft, bedrock is not the bottom of the world. We haven't even gotten close to the bottom of the world. The bottom of the world is rather far away. But I think before we do too much more, let's get some more tin. I think it's about time to wrap up this episode. So what I'll do is collect some more tin and copper and keep the smelting going of this stuff. And then we'll come back next time, go explore in the depths, and try and find iron. Once we've gotten that, we can really start branching out a little bit and doing some research and getting started on FortressCraft Evolved. So as usual with new series, I definitely appreciate your feedback on you know, how you guys liked things. Let me know if you know, you're happy with the new series and all that stuff and what you think of it. And we'll come back next time. All right, guys, take it easy.